Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy for Now. It's me Isabel here with a hardest reading challenge you'll ever do 2.0 update, because I have been kind of loosely updating you in my resets, but I haven't done a reset in over a month, and I haven't been the most diligent at tracking with everything going on in my life. If you're curious, you can go watch my I'll See You Soon video or a plethora of other videos where I talk about it. I'm not going to dive too far into depth in that because that's not what this video has anything to do with, besides the fact that, like, I have not been diligently tracking, okay? So I needed to fix that and also get a good look at what I had left. So I figured today we would go sit in front of my computer for a bit and we would go through this spreadsheet start to finish, and I would show you also the 2 trackers I made myself for this readathon challenge situation. It's not really a readathon, it's a challenge. So yeah, I would show you the trackers I made for that and just kind of talk through my plans and thoughts on where I'm at and what I'm hoping to get done early next year. I know the soonest anyone can finish the challenge is like February, I think, but I'm shooting to be done by May or June. Like, I'm really hoping to finish early. We'll see if I can manage it or not. But for now, let's go to me in front of my computer and talk through it all. Here we are at my computer in front of my hardest reading challenge bingo board. Here you will see I have no bingos. I've completed 5 squares. That's great. I'm very proud of myself. And yeah, I have no bingos. I'm very close on this one. I'm very close on a couple of these, to be honest with you, which is really exciting. And we're going to go through every single section because I haven't done that at all during this challenge. And some of y'all might be surprised. Now, I do have this percentage tracker from the Discord. This was shared in the Discord, some extra templates. I am at 54%. And I don't have a ton of bingos. I do need to note that. So there's that. I have added to the tracker submitted and books completed. So I mark when the book is complete and then also when I've submitted it, because you will notice here that I haven't completed a lot. Well, that you notice here that I haven't submitted many of the books that I've read so far. So there's that. We're doing it. We sure are, y'all. And there's probably some in here I'm missing. I'm not going to lie to you. If anything is grayed out, it means I did it. Or I submitted it. So there's that. I need to go. That's another day problem. Anyways, then we have our tracker page, obviously. You know, it's a good page. We have our points page. I will show you over here that I've earned quite a bit. I've spent some of my points though, which we will discuss in a minute. I've spent 3 triple ups because I thought it was worth it for me to go ahead and start knocking some of these things out. This is not, well, we'll go in bingo board order because my board is a mess because I hide things when I'm done. So first things first, by the hundreds, I have my 100-pager, which is of course a manga. That was my best option at the time, and that is what I went with. I do have a light rule for myself for the hardest reading challenge, and that is I cannot count every single manga I read, because then it would get complicated. I can count them for points. I cannot count them for every prompt. Like, I'm trying to only do 1 manga per prompt at most. So this is where we're at for this one. I did use a freebie we earned during one of the bonus things one month for the 700-pager because that's just not up my alley. 600, I actually will be reading this in January. So that's good news. Again, 1 prompt away from finishing. Next, we have the 24-hour readathon. Now, everyone's going to giggle because I did so bad. I basically read Mate for my 24-hour readathon. I planned this badly, honestly. I should have done a redo, but I did it, and that's all that matters. It's done. I finished 1 book, and I started 2 others. We'll call it good. You know? It's enough. So that was one of my completed ones. Next, we have subgenre of toys. Shocker to anyone that watches my channel. I'm sure that I finished this already. This was the first prompt I think I finished. So I did read 6 different romance genre items. I read a cozy, a historical, a sci-fi, a contemporary, mafia, and a monster romance. And I say that counts. So this was like the first one I ever finished. Okay, Series Staircase. This was one that I struggled with, to be honest with you, and then like suddenly was done. I feel like I was fighting for my life to finish this one, and then I was like, oh, I'm done. This is great. I'm done. So my standalone was Willing Prey by Ali Oleander. This came out this year, so like this fall. Fantastic option. Feeling the Heat duology, part 1 and part 2. Both came out within about a month of each other. This trilogy from Lola Glass, The Art of Avoiding, was a happy accident. I kind of just unintentionally ended up marathoning these and was like, oh, I have my trilogy. And then this was also I really like these, and I marathoned them all. So here we are. And I finished this one as well. This is one that I definitely thought would take me a lot longer. Okay, so there's that. Now onto award season, which is one that I'm very close on because every book left is a book I want to read in the next year, like before this is over. So the Reddit romance books group has announced their winners for the awards. So if something took first place, I put it in the winner slot. So two of my double ups were used here. I used Willing Prey for this, and I used Gloves Off for this. Oh, I only used two triple ups. Okay. I take that back. I thought I used three. I used two triple ups. So, anyways, these two won their categories for that. Allie Hazelwood's Mate was a finalist. So I counted it. And finalists for me were anything in the top three, or second place, basically, or third is how I did it. Same for semifinalists. I kind of just grouped them together because you didn't really, I guess I should make all of these finalists because the way the voting worked, it's ranked voting. So there's not a ton of choices. Like there's a ton of choices, but you don't get like the repeated rounds. So all of these are finalists, the next four that I'm reading. So we have In a Rush by Kate Canterbury, Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. That is a bad typo. So that's on me. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. Apologies, Nevessa Allen. Not that you're watching this, but I feel bad. Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt, and then All Superheroes Need PR by Elizabeth Stevens is an entrant was entered into the comments because it was in the honorable mentions section, which means it got a lot of votes to get nominated to the ranked choice voting. So that's how I'm counting this one personally. These are 4 books that I don't see myself not reading in the next 2 months. So that makes it really nice and easy. And then I will take you through the things I made myself. TBR game challenge. I've done nothing. Do you have a very simple, enjoyable TBR game recommendation for me? Would love that because I don't like TBR games. I don't like TBRs. I may end up using one of my freebies, skip a box for this one because I just don't love a TBR game. I don't follow a TBR. So yeah, I feel like if I do that, I have to do like a very easy, simple thing. The last 10 years, we are getting there. I need to read this book still, but I have read 2019 through 2025. I'm actually shooting to go all the way to 2015 possibly, because I do have a handful of books for here and same thing for all of these. So I only have 4 more left. I think that's going to be pretty doable for me. I don't think this is a too difficult of a task when I'm working through reading down what I own, especially because I definitely have books from 2015 on my Kindle. Then we have all the adaptations. This one I've not done a good job. I did read the source material for Heated Rivalry, so I guess that kind of counts. But I'm going to be watching Heated Rivalry. I'm going to watch the newer Little Mermaid live action because I never watched it. I think that was supposed to be in modern retelling. Either way, whatever. I watched Superman, so I feel like that counts. But yeah, this is another one where I'm debating potentially using one of my skip the boxes because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I care, you know? I should have went and saw Merrily We Roll Along. That would have been a good option here. But yeah, this is one where I'm like torn on possibly skipping because it's just not my jam. All right, disability challenge. I have a chronic pain one here for feeling the heat. I know I have others that I've read and I've just not even thought about this challenge yet, which sounds terrible. I do read this representation. I just don't think about this one on the board yet. So I definitely need to find my other ones that I want to read here soon. I would like to read one with chronic migraine rep. I think that'd be really fun. Then Heritage Months. I did Black History already. I definitely feel like I'll have Jewish Heritage this month. I have a couple Hanukkah books I'm reading, so that'll easily one of those will count for there. Oh my god, I have quite a few books picked out for these, but I just haven't gotten to them yet, nor filled anything in apparently. So yeah, there's that. I was gonna try to do these by the month, but I realized my mood reading does not suit to that at all. Let's see, translation challenge. This is one I'm also struggling with, but I'm shooting to read something that was translated from Korean, from Chinese, Spanish, and German, or French. I'm not sure which of those two, but Spanish or German one of those could switch to French. But I did Japanese. I did count a manga here because I felt like that was fair. I do read a lot of manga. I have some manhwas that I want to read, so I may count a manhwa here for Korean, or I may read a novel. I'm not sure. Chinese, I'm probably going to read a Danmi or a the new one that came out, and I cannot think of the phrase for it. Oh my goodness. I cannot think of the phrase. Anyways, I'm not going to Google it because that's going to require me editing out typing, but The Beauty is the Blade or something is what it's called, and I may read that for that representation. Around the world, I have done North America and Europe. So the irony of this one is just that, like, honestly, I don't pay attention to where things I'm reading are set, and like that's really terrible of me. I should do better. So I'm hoping in the new year to kind of do better for that one. Let's see. Even bigger rainbow. Here we go. So I have quite a few colors done, and I will be done very soon. So we did red, we have blue, purple, pink, black, and silver, gold, and 7+ colors. I definitely have something I can count here, I feel like, but I will have more here. I think orange and yellow I might struggle with the most in the romance genre, but I may actually be reading. Mm, I think I actually this month will end up reading my green book at least because that cover is very green. So that's good news. But yeah, I need to get like some of these colors knocked out. White, I actually have a book for that I haven't put in yet, I think. Yes. So white is going to be done here too. So look at me go. I'm going to do that now actually while we're thinking about it because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Look at me updating this in real time with you. I think this one counts for white. This cover is very white to me. Y'all can argue in the comments, I guess, if like you want. But so white's done. Do you want to see what I'm going to read for green? Because I'll put it here so y'all can see it in case you're also struggle busing. Colors are hard. So I'm actually, oh no, wrong square. Anyways, I would consider this a green cover. I'm reading this whole series right now. Here's a hint. If you like sapphic romances, this series, Les the Halls are all very low rated. Like don't have a ton of ratings. So they would count for a lot of things on this board. I need to go update the tracker as well. White is done and green we'll call done. So that put us up a whole another percent. All right. And then the quote. I would like to accept any quote guesses if you haven't heard what my quote is yet, because my is it easy and I just need to finish it. But that is on your left from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, because that is the best quote there is. So I've read a your, I need to read an on, and I need to read a left. I'm going to be reading Left of Forever, so that will count for my left. The on, I have quite a few options here. I don't need these anymore. So that's fun. But yeah, I have quite a few of these left. And for left. So that's going to be a fun time. I'm very excited to finish this one. Okay, spooky creatures. Very, very, very close here. So I have Fae Folk and Spirit. I think I'm going to end up using Good Spirits by BK Borison here for Spirit. Fae Folk, I haven't decided. That may be the next Beast of the Briar when I read that in the new year, which is like broken by starlight, daylight. I think daylight, and I think the next one's starlight. Anyways, that may be that one, and this will be done. But this was an easy, fun one for me personally. Like this is something I already read a lot of, so very, very easy. Become the Avatar. I love this challenge. I think this challenge is so fun. So I did cover image for this one. I'm not doubling up to also do title. So the only thing I'm missing is fire. I don't think it'll be too hard. So that's the good news. If you have fire cover romance suggestions, let me know. Complete any readathon. I counted my Love in the Night readathon. That's what I did. And you know what? I think it counts, and it's one of my favorites. So we read paranormal books for a week, twice a year, and I mean, I read them all year anyways, but it was just really fun to get to read more of them. Then we have animals. This is another one where I'm like, ooh, if I can read enough indies to replace this box square, I will. I just don't read a lot of animals, to be honest with you. Or notice them in my books, I guess. So I got nothing really right now for this one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can make it work. Maybe I won't. Then with the queer alphabet. So I'm working through this one. I have to put in my lesbian book still. So I'm going to do that now because I do have a lesbian book. I'm going to count this one because it was so much fun. So lesbian is done. So that's great. That's exciting. This is part of that Les the Hall series I was talking about though that has a pretty good variety of ratings. So yeah, I have a couple on my list that are transgender representation romances that I want to read that are older that I own. So I'm likely to use one of those. Intersex, I don't know if I have anything right now. Asexual, I usually stumble into with love, not like in a bad way, just it just happens. And then non-binary, agender are what I have left. So I feel pretty good about that. I don't think that's like a terrible variety left. I do love queer romances, so I'm actually slightly surprised I've not read more of these, but I'm also not surprised. I also gonna make that heated rivalry. Anyways, it's fine. Okay, so then we have our favorite HRCYED one prompt, and I'm gonna do a 500 pager in one day because that was my favorite prompt. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I often do this for a couple of series that I read every year. So I figured I can easily make that happen. Next, we have our BIPOC challenge. So one of the things for myself for this challenge, I'm trying not to repeat identities more than one time. And I think that's fair for the amount I read. Do obviously whatever you want to do. I'm not judging you for it. But I have read my 2 Black authors, 2 Southeast Asians, and 1 Latina author. So I will do 1 more Latina, and then I'm sure I will find other ones here at some point. I know I've probably read some that I could count, and I just haven't because I've been not really hardcore focused on this challenge for the last 2 months. So we're getting back to it though. So there's that. But this one I see myself finishing pretty early in the new year also. Then we have the extended new releases. This is where we're at right now. I have read every new release for this year that I can. So ideally in January, I'm going to finish January, February, and March since you can do 60 days forward and back. And then come February, I'll start working my way to June. I do have quite a few arcs for January, so I may end up reading one of those before we know it and be ready to go and just kind of keep on trucking through because there's no reason for me not to complete this challenge a smidge early at the very least. Then there's Challenge Yourself. And my challenge is 5 non-romance titles. As someone who predominantly reads romance, and it's going to be hard enough for me to do, but I will manage it because I do have non-romance titles I want to read. I have non-romance titles in my old TBR catalog, like of books I own. So this is just going to kind of encourage me to pick up some of those. If I feel like I complete this a little too easily, I may add a couple more. But right now, 5 feels very manageable and also hard for me personally. Then we have the nonfiction challenge. This is the other one where I'm struggling with. Also, my nonfictions here cannot count. I'm not planning to double them up in that other challenge a ton since it is 5 nonfictions. And technically that could complete it, but I'm going to try my best. So I'm almost done with reading Sweetgrass now. I'm reading Where Did Everybody Go by Don Martin right now as well. So that'll be 2 because that's like an essay kind of situation. And then I just have to figure out 3 more. And nonfiction's just not. I struggle. I like certain kinds. I don't struggle with nonfiction. I like very specific kinds of nonfiction, and I don't know like how to differentiate all the kinds of nonfiction. So figuring out those subgenres is going to be interesting. If you have nonfiction suggestions, let me know in the comments though. Okay. And last but not least, we have Q's, reviews, and recs. This one I am kind of flying by the seat of my pants with, I'm gonna admit, because I'm basically just like reading a thing and then I'll Google if Cordy's read it. So I need to figure out my other 2 for this and then I will go from there and it'll be a good time. It'll be fine. But yeah, so Braiding Sweetgrass, I'm gonna count here because there is a YouTube short, TikTok, Instagram reel of it. And then I've just got to go dig through Q's full reading vlogs and mini reviews to make choices. So yeah, that is my bingo board set up for you. Two things that I built myself to use during this challenge that I'll show y'all in case anyone is interested in building one. I can possibly link it to you. Anyways, I have this that I made myself so we can switch a entire prompt situation, like an entire bingo board box for 5 self-published authors under 500 ratings on Goodreads. As you can see, these bolded ones are the series I'm in the middle of right now, but all of these have pretty low ratings. I kind of unintentionally stumbled into some of these and I'm like, okay, cool. So I am sitting on one right now that I've not used. I have not decided what I'm using it for, but I am tracking this so that when the time comes a little later next year, I can make the choice if I should swap some things out or not. And then the other thing I did, which I have not put anything up. Oh my God, I got a free triple up. I didn't realize this. Heck yeah. Okay. Well, let me go. Hold on. Okay, I took that away from myself. Anyways, Q drops different bonus prompts, and because of that, I was trying to find a way for me to track it. I have not been the best about this because I had a lot going on in my personal life. And so, yeah, I didn't do that one. I did not earn November's, and I haven't put December's in yet, but I kind of just gave myself 20 spots. There's not going to be 20 of these. I just kind of have them here so I can kind of see quickly where I'm at and what I need to do to do it. So that's nice. It kind of just lets me see, like, okay, I've earned 3 out of however many. I don't know that I'll get all of these, obviously, but I mean, I already haven't. So there's that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this to kind of keep track of what I have and where I'm at. But this has also been very nice for me. So yeah, those are the two things that I kind of just built myself into the spreadsheet to use. Otherwise, let's go back to me in front of the camera, in front of the bookshelves. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have suggestions for anything I asked for, please, please, please leave them in the comments. I need them desperately. If you don't want to do any of that, I just want to know, like, how you're doing if you're participating in the challenge, if you're surprised at my progress. I, for one, am really impressed at myself for being like 50+% done and not having any bingos. I think that fact is kind of hilarious. Very accurate for me, too. I feel like I'm very scattered on what I have completed and where I'm at. I don't think I'm far off. I will tell you that. I do not feel far off from completing this, though. So, like, that's the good news. I think it wouldn't be impossible for me to be done a little bit early with where I'm at right now, because technically I'm over halfway. So that's a win. Anyways, yeah, let me know all that in the comments. If you don't do any of that, you can leave me a peppermint emoji, I guess, because I've got on my peppermint sweatshirt today. So you can do that. You leave me a peppermint emoji down below. I will, of course, have links to Hearts Reading Challenge down there if you're curious and all that good stuff for you. I'm not going to have links to the books I talked about. That's too much work. But I'll have all that down there for you. And I will be back to talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye. Peace, wave, bye. Nope. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Already packing. Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.